This video is going to be something slightly different than usual. The main reason I'm making this is because I've played a lot of games over the past 6 weeks or so and wanted to talk about them without doing a full video on each game. I hope it'll also give you some ideas of what to play. So no farting around, let's jump into the games that I've played in quarantine. If you like what you see, please subscribe. Now on to the video. When this shit show started over here in Ireland, it was around my birthday and I couldn't have had a better day. Both Animal Crossing New Horizon and Doom Eternal released that day. I got the Animal Crossing Switch bundle for my birthday, mainly for the cool colours and the longer battery life, which definitely makes a difference. GameStop were doing a great trade-up deal, so it only cost me €100 to upgrade, so it was definitely worth it in my opinion. My history with the Animal Crossing franchise is very short. I was hooked on New Leaf for about 25 hours, but stopped playing after that. I was still very excited for New Horizon, mainly because of the crafting and more options to customise your island. Now I'm sad to say that I had a very similar experience with this game than I did with New Leaf. Over the first 2 weeks, I played the game constantly, and was always on the lookout for my next item to craft or way to improve my island. At the start, I was enjoying the speed of the game. The devs clearly designed the game to be tranquil, and they succeed at that. I hopped on for an hour or two every day, doing Nook Mile challenges, cleaning up my island and talking to my villagers, and I was loving it for a while. But after a while, the speed of the game got to me. When you catch a fish, you get a piece of text. You can't multi-craft. It's the things like this that turn me off playing the game. If you're looking for something to wind down at the end of the day, or something that you could spend hours in at a time, this game is perfect. It just isn't for me right now. The polar opposite of Animal Crossing's philosophy of take your time and relax is evident in Doom Eternal, the last physical game that I bought before the lockdown. This game was a perfect counter to Animal Crossing. I would play New Horizons to wind down at the end of the day, but I'd play Doom Eternal any other time. This game got its claws on me within minutes. I could do a whole video on it. Doom Eternal is an improvement on everything that Doom 2016 had to offer, and that's no easy feat. 2016 was one of the best ever FPS games, and now I can say that Doom Eternal is the best FPS ever made. Everything from level design and aesthetic to the combat and movement and everything in between is just great. It's an absolute masterclass of design. All the levels are so tightly crafted that it's a romp from point A to B, but with plenty of side paths and secrets to find. Something that I found myself doing a lot more than in 2016. 1 minute you're platforming from wall to wall, then you're lighting an enemy on fire, chainsawing them, then using a grappling hook shotgun to close the gap to the next enemy, all while this amazing heavy metal soundtrack plays. I definitely prefer the emphasis placed on resource management in this game over the previous title. Doom Eternal is easily one of the best games I've ever played, and to any FPS fans, what are you doing? You just have to go and play this. But you should finish this video first. The next 3 games I'm going to lump all into one because they're all JRPGs that I'm playing for my one JRPG a month series. I think these grand adventures are perfect for a time like this. Just get sucked up into a world and play for hours on end. The games are Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ninokuni Wrath of the White Witch and Persona 4, all juggernauts in the genre. I'll be doing videos on these in the coming months, so I'll give you my quickfire thoughts now. Final Fantasy VII Remake, a classic reimagined. This game is unbelievable. It's my favourite game of the year and I think it'll be really hard to beat. The combat system is so fun and it gives you plenty of control over how your characters play. The fact that all characters played completely different kept the combat extremely fresh. The music is fantastic, story is great and the characters are really endearing. All in all, a great game and would highly recommend. The next JRPG is Ninokuni Wrath of the White Witch, and this game oozes charm. The graphics are nice and colourful and the cutscenes are all done by Studio Ghibli. The overall presentation is fantastic and it's a thing that caught my eye from the start. You think you're in for a kiddie adventure, but you'd be so wrong, that's all I'm saying, no spoilers. The Pokemon-esque combat is surprisingly good and way deeper than anything Pokemon has to offer, from a single player point of view anyways. I typically get bored of Pokemon combat fairly quickly, but this kept me engaged for nearly 15 hours so far, and I'm absolutely loving it. If you like traditional JRPGs, then you should play this if you haven't already. Persona 4 is the next JRPG that I plan on playing in the background for the next couple of months, so that I can get it beaten without being under too much time pressure. I'm sure everyone has heard of this game, but it's supposed to be one of, if not the best game on the Vita, and so far I'd agree. I'm about 10 hours into the game and it's just so good. I'm really intrigued by the fact that you level up your character outside of battle. I'm used to games where all the leveling up is done in combat, but this game switches it up and lets you increase your character stats by hanging out with your friends, reading a book, or eating some questionable food from your fridge. It's a fantastic game so far, and if the internet is to be believed, then it will only get better. So the Vita's actually been getting a bit of love in this video. I've been playing some Unit 13 recently, and let me tell you, this game is really great. There's just something about shooters on the Vita. I think it's because it was the first handheld that shooters felt viable since it had 2 analog sticks. Unit 13 works perfectly on the Vita. The mission structure is based around small levels that you can beat in about 10 or 15 minutes and you chase high scores. I was kind of hoping on getting the platinum, but turns out you need to pay €10 for an online pass for 2 feckin' trophies. Luckily my trophy hunting hasn't gotten too bad yet, so I resist the urge of paying a tenner for 2 trophies. Okay, so if you're still with me, there are 3 games left. First, we'll talk about my second love in life, Rocket League. Don't ask me how much time I've put into this game. I can't put it down. I'm constantly trying to get better. For anyone who hasn't played it, well, firstly, what are you doing with your life? Go play this game. But it's football or soccer for you Americans out there, with cars. This game perfects the easy to pick up but difficult to master philosophy. After God knows how long, I still have so far to go. I'm currently Champ 2, so I hope I'll be able to make it to Grand Champ by the end of the year. Wishful thinking, but we'll see. Now, the next game on the list is Far Cry 5. I only picked this game up a few days ago because I was itching for a Ubisoft open world game. Or gaming junk food as some would call it. Games in general are great for all sorts of things. Fantastic mechanics that are begging to be mastered, or a story that pushes the medium into a new light. But sometimes you just want to switch your brain off and clear a map of objectives. And Far Cry are some of the best examples of these kinds of games. I haven't played a Far Cry properly since 3 back in 2012, and I was pleasantly surprised by how much I'm enjoying this game. I find myself turning it on for an hour or so, a few times a day, and just clearing parts of the map. This kind of game is perfect right now because people have so much free times and these are great for some mindless fun. I do think the map could be a bit too big and I'll probably get burnt out before I finish the game, but we'll see in the future. The final game, and one that surprised me the most, is Streets of Rage 4. I didn't even know that this game was coming out and I'm so glad that I played it. It's a very traditional beat 'em up game, as were the previous 3 games. The online co-op works really well and I played the game fully through this way. The art style of the game just pops. Loads of remakes or sequels of classic games opted for a 3D art style because it's a lot cheaper than a 2D art style. So this game could have looked like Shaq Fu Remake, but instead they went with this. Everything in the game looks fantastic. Even the small things like idle animations of characters have so much love poured into them. Apparently the game is very accurate to the originals, so much so that I could play this game and go straight to the original and the controls would feel the same. I binged this game over a few days and I'm so glad I did. You should definitely play this game. So I won't keep you for any longer. There we have it, 9 games that I've been playing during quarantine. I hope it gave you guys a few ideas on what to play next. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what games you've been playing to pass the time. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe and I'll see you all on the next video.